Are we live? We good? We good? I don't know, I'm on a little bit of a delay, sorry. Yeah, hang on. Ah! Stop. Okay. Jeez. Hi! Hello, all of you! This is loud for me. I don't know if it's loud for you guys. Let me know. I'm still kind of getting set up. I had unexpected visitors and I got pushed behind a little bit from what I wanted to do. So I want to, like, do a thing really quick. Da-da-da-da. Kazuha will just entertain you guys for a little bit here. Just a second. Just a second. Jeez. Where did I go? There I am. Okay. I'm good. I'm back. Okay. Hi. Yep. Hello. We are not in Inazuma. And yeah, okay. Well, I'm mostly just gonna kind of wander around and, like, ramble, as is my usual thing. Guys, let me know if the audio is okay. I'm testing a little bit of a different setup this time, and I don't quite know where my balance is at yet. So yeah. Also, welcome. Thank you guys for showing up. There's way more people here than I thought there was going to be. I was just going to kind of, like, wander around. I have a question now too. I also have to change teams really quick because I haven't really played today, so I haven't done my commissions. So we're going to go on commission team because that's a thing. We need to do that. And by we, I mean me. I need to do my commissions. Hey, I have a nice setup. Look at that. I only really need to warp once. Yee. I see there's already a question in here. I'm just reading this while I have, like, loading screens and stuff. Who do I main and how am I? How I tried to say how am I and how are you at the same time and it did not work. How am you? I am good. Am good. Yes, hi are. Words hard. I am a Kaya and Xiao main. I think I'm over here. I'm over here. Oh, okay. That works. Now, I wanna make a couple of things a little clear. First off, this is my friendship farming team. And the only one here who's actually properly built is Kazuha, and he is not built as a DPS. Everyone else has, like, level 4 talents. So I'm not gonna have a team that looks all that great. Just FYI. I know I'm supposed to destroy towers, but I don't want to. I want to blow up the things. Hi. You're all that's left, little dude. Okay, bye. I am not good with Mona, but I'm trying so hard to get used to alt sprints, and I'm just not doing all that well. It's so hard. How do people use alt sprints? Like, seriously, I can't do it. I feel awful. Ah! Wow, hi. I am, let's see. Coriander Sim has more questions. It says, I see I'm playing on a PlayStation. Any feelings about Aloy? I am not playing on PlayStation. I am playing on a PC. And it thinks I'm using an Xbox controller. And you can tell because, sorry, hang on. You see over here? Like on, oops, like on the right there where the seed box is, it says Y, X, A, and B. I don't have those. I have a PlayStation 3 controller that's plugged into my PC. So, yeah. I do not have an Aloy. I will not be getting Aloy until like version 2.2. Like probably most people who are not playing on PlayStation 4 or 5. So, yeah. Um Stargazer, how did you feel when Skarmoose showed up in the live stream? I mean, I kind of knew he was gonna be there. Because, like, if he wasn't there... Is this an unsolved puzzle? This is an unsolved puzzle. I'm gonna do this later, though. I don't want to do this right now. We mark you for later. Oh, but, hang on. I have the attention span of, like, a magpie. So, if you're new to my streams, this is gonna be fun. Because I lose track of what I'm doing very easily. I kind of knew he was going to be there because A, he's from Inazuma. He's probably the only Harbinger from Inazuma, my guess is. There may be, like, one more, who knows? Like, Capitano has a chance of being a Harbinger from Inazuma because there's, like, Akodameki, which we met in the Golden Apple Archipelago series of pirates, and we're getting his weapon. That's what the catch is. Well, yeah, should be. Based on the fact that, like, the level up item is called Akko's box or something along the Akko something. So I'm assuming it's Akodameki. It would make sense. Pirate, get like a piratey spear kind of thing, right? So, like, if he wasn't in the 2.0 trailer, he had to be in the 2.1 trailer. He just had to. So I kind of knew he was going to be there, but I was super excited. Because I didn't think... Okay, so I thought Scar was going to have, like, a very different role in Inazuma. This is going to be hard just because, like, I don't do a whole lot of damage with this team. I hate this commission. Because it's in a really terrible place, and I don't want to get frozen. Can you come back here? Fine. Ow. Mean. Very mean. Can this just go away, please? I don't understand how this is even remotely considered fair. When, like, half of this... Mona, please. Oh my god. I cannot wait till you are friendship level 10, so I do not have to do this anymore. No. Thank you. Jesus. I lost my train of thought. Oh, right. I knew he was going to be there, but I actually thought he was going to be more friendly. I realized that's a weird thing to say now in hindsight, but I legitimately thought he was going to be like a reluctant ally to us, in the struggle against Ball. So I was actually really excited to see that he's going to be like full on evil puppet master kind of thing. Cause that's like, I don't know, it's one of my favorite tropes for that kind of thing. Can you do the thing? Yep, thank you. Let's go away now. Bye-bye. Oh, I guess we're chi-chiing this up. Oh, there's another one of you. Okay. That's enough. Bye-bye. Oh, that was my commission. Oh, okay. All right, then. Yeah. I am going to be really far behind on chat, aren't I? I am going to be so far behind. This is going to be great. This is going to be great, you guys. I don't even think I've fully answered the question. Sakura's asking, now that we know Raiden's backstory and I'm running into a wall, that's great. Good job. What do you think your reason is for carrying out the Vision Hunt decree? I couldn't tell you. I have zero ideas right now. Legitimately have zero ideas. Where am I going? Oh no, is this the... Oh, I don't like this one. Why? I went the wrong way. I thought it was the other one. Okay, fine. I honestly have no idea why she's collecting visions. Like, I have maybe 13 ideas, and I have no idea which one is more plausible. Um, she could be trying to use them to stop time. She could be using them because her gnosis has already been taken. She could, and she's trying to make a new one. She can be using it to summon something. She could be using it for, I mean, like, I don't know. There's so many possibilities that I have no idea what the most likely one is at this point. A lot of that's just because, like, we don't know enough about visions to, like, even have a clue as to what their true purpose is and what she might be wanting to use those for, and I'm hoping we'll figure that out, like, soonish. But yeah, sorry, I honestly, I have no idea. Um, Paramaxolotl. Do I like Xinyan? Yes, I like Xinyan. And I actually do have her built. I built her way back because I thought it would be nice to have another shield unit. I wanted to see... Yep. I even think she's C6. Oh, she's not C6. I will use her again when I get her final constellation here. Because then I at least have, like, a really decent use for her. I might turn her into a burst support when we get that fish, because that fish, I can stack a lot of attack and defense on her because I have a lot of good gear that's, like, terrible for everyone else, but would be really good on her. And I think the big tuna thing claymore we're getting might actually be decent for a burst support Xinyan. I would like to use her more. I just can't. Because Xinyan's main problem for me is her shield, because her shield has levels, and it should not have levels. It should have one level. Oh, did I not finish this? Shoot. Wait, what? Hang on. What am I doing? Oh. Oh, right, okay. Right. I wasn't reading the thing. I've done this quest, like, a bunch of times. I've lost interest in it now. After Dango less time, so we'll do Sachets this time. I don't think it changes anything, but anyway. Yeah. So I really feel like her shield should have never had levels. It should have always pulsed. And if it did have levels, then I think it should have had better uptime. Because, like, right now, I feel like the only way to justify using her for a shielder is to stack 100% defense and run her with a sacrificial claymore. And I feel like that's a real shame. Because, like, Diona, I run with sacrificial, but she doesn't have to run sacrificial. She can run other things, you know? She can run other things. It's just... Anyway. I just get really annoyed by it. Oh, sorry. I am, like, way behind now. Goodness. Let's see if I can read, like, 5 questions and then hold them somewhere in my brain and see if I remember them. John Merrill asks, what's the thing I'm most excited about for the upcoming 2.1 update? Story. Also Scaramouche. I have a prediction that we're going to get, like, spooked by a Scaramouche banner. And I've been waiting for him since, like, 1.1, so. I want me some Scaramouche. I want to add him to my little gremlin club. My little club of gremlins. I love gremlins. And he is a good gremlin. I know there's more artifacts up there, but I'm gonna, like, max out my XP anyway, so. Yeah. So that's that one. Shillet, I am not going to answer that question because I know what you're referring to, and that requires so much context in order for anyone else to understand what you're asking about in regards to the seraph wings. And I don't want to right now. Maybe some other time I'll be like into it. I just talking about it will put me into like this mood where I have to talk about angelology, and I don't want to because angelology is a ridiculous topic that I know not enough about, and it drives me crazy. And I think angels are the weirdest thing from like biblical mythology. I think they're some of the weirdest things. Why does Ningguang's charge attack do less damage to ore than her normal attack? I've never figured that out. I think that's weird. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Do I think Senora is going to die in 2.1? I mean, she's got a chance of it just like anyone else does. I mean, she could. I don't know. I mean, I think it would be kind of weird on the one hand for her to die in 2.1. Just because she is a fan favorite, and I know so many people who are like really hyped for her. So if they killed her off, it'd be so weird from like a financial perspective. But on the other hand, this is my own personal wish. I kind of hope she does die because it would provide one really interesting scenario where so one of the harbingers is Sandrone. Okay, and if you're not familiar with the play that the Fatui are based off of, Sandrone is basically like a puppet or a puppeteer, and I think what they're gonna do with him is kind of like, how come I didn't get a screen? That's not cool. I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about that at all. Hey, come back here. Are they all gone? They're all gone. Okay. Give me things. I want the things. I want them. Give me, give me. I have so many treasure medals. It's not even funny. So Sandrone is like a puppet master or a puppeteer or a puppet sometimes. Sometimes he is both the puppet and the puppeteer, which is really fun. And I was thinking like it would be so cool for them to kill off Senora really early, right? And then later when they do introduce Sandrone, they like bring back Senora, but as one of Sandrone's like half-dead necromancy puppets, because that would be really dark and also like really cool. And then we could get like zombie Senora for a what do you call it? A zombie Senora for a where's the thing? Oh, he's up here. Oh, you know what? I don't want to. We're gonna ignore you. I don't want to chase these things. It's like a compulsion once you get going. I can't do with this right now. Please no. Oh goodness. Oh wow. Hi. I'm so sorry. I am going to butcher your name, but Paul Maximiliano Herrera? Thank you so much for the super chat. Wow. He says, live tour vids. I hope you keep making theories. With some really cool little emoticons there. Well, thank you so much. Hey, I didn't realize I had a super chat thing on in here. I should really pay better attention to the setup. I am very ill-equipped, my goodness. I'm also gonna fall to my death. Plungy! And now, hopefully chat will stop like bouncing around for me and I can actually read things and pick up all of these purple crystals. I have questions. Why did they make it amethyst lumps here and not crystal cores again? Like they made crystal cores for Mondstadt and they made them for Leeway. So Leeway and Mondstadt share cores, but Inazuma has its own core. Does that mean Sumeru is going to use crystal cores or amethyst lumps? Like, are they unique to Inazuma? I don't know. This is going to haunt me now. Hey, it's Temari, dude. I'm going this way. I'm going this way. Ira Khan, will I do a theory of the Traveler's homeworld and or backstory before they came to Teyvat? I am going to do a Traveler's video. I don't think I'm going to talk much about their homeworld because I don't think we have much of any information on it. So I could speculate a bit, but I kind of feel like speculating on the Traveler's homeworld can go one of two ways. Either I can go full on crazy conspiracy theory on the fact that the Travelers haven't actually been to any other worlds, which is a theory I do have. Or, okay, fine. Auto aim will take care of this for me, I guess. Oh, you're not dead. I don't appreciate that very much. Oh, you're still here too. Well, I don't like that either. Okay, fine. Give me the thing. I just wanted to break this. Can you... Oh my god. Can you aim, please? I give up. Just... Thank you. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, sorry. I can either go on, like, full-on conspiracy theory, or I could do a whole video on how the Travelers came from something that relates to Honkai Impact. And I'm not sure I really want to do that. Because, like, the whole idea of the Travelers and Genshin in general being related to Honkai is, like, such a minefield to go into that I try not to most of the time. So, yeah. So I don't know if I'll be doing that specifically. But I will be doing a little video on the Travelers, and I will probably do a video on the Travelers before we get to the world structure video, because that one's like complicated and long and requires a lot of really weird assets that I need to collect, and that's just going to take a while. So a Traveler video would actually be easier to do just because it's less work to collect all the pieces specifically. Not like it's less work to write, it's just sometimes I have to collect a lot of footage. And yeah, collecting footage is probably like the hardest part of making videos, actually. Especially because I don't have like a really clear process, because I'll be writing a theory and like partially researching things at the same time and then also revising it, and then sometimes I record, and while I'm recording I am also still revising and researching and gathering things, and then I'll realize that something doesn't sound right, and then I'll try and reword it, and then I'll realize, oh wait, I forgot about this whole thing, and then I have to add in like 2 more paragraphs. So that's always fun. So my process is just so non-linear that it's like painful to gather footage. I usually have to do it like over the course of like 3 days. This is just like volcanic rock, don't you think? This is like super volcanic rock. Where am I going? I don't know. That's a good question. Chat jumped. Chat jumped. Why did it jump? Why did it jump for me? Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Okay, hang on. There, I'm back to where I was. I have not lost my place. Cloud asks, do you think someone is actually gonna do, or do you think the leaks are fake? I think you mean, are they gonna die? So I'll assume that. Do I think someone's gonna die? I think I just talked about that, so I'm gonna just kind of like keep going. I don't know which leaks you're talking about, and I don't talk about leaks on streams or in videos except for that one thing that I let slip on accident because I forgot that it was still not like public. So whoops. That happens. Um yeah, but it's just a passive. Generally speaking though, while I don't have any issues and I do partake in time of like character leaks and skill leaks and things like that, um, I do not do anything along the lines of story leaks, basically ever. Mostly because I want to be surprised. I like being surprised. Come back here, lady. I ain't done with you yet. Bye. Um, um, that was funny. I was stuck. I thought that was gonna like stay there for a while. I have to burst mode out of it. I don't look at story leaks ever, even if they are available, because I do want to be surprised. Like when I theorize, I don't do it with the intent of being right. Oftentimes I hope I'm not, but what I like to do is kind of just explore the possibilities of where the story could go. And if I'm right, sometimes that's cool, but sometimes it's not because sometimes I think what's going to happen based on a theory I have is a lot. Well, it's kind of disappointing or it's not that interesting, right? So I'm never really all that happy when that kind of thing happens, but I would rather be wrong and surprised, I guess. So even if and when they are available, I don't look at those. The only other thing beyond like skills that I'll look at that I can comment on are books. Mostly because the books never really contain anything that's relevant to the story as it currently is. It's just like historical lore. So I don't think that spoils anything. And because sometimes getting information from books early before the update drops is really helpful in comprising theories because you have much more context for like some of the stuff that's coming up. So when an event happens, you're like, oh, that's what that's referencing. And then the book suddenly makes more sense. Also gives me a head start on being able to write more relevant theories so you don't have to wait as long. I don't know why I'm collecting these. I have no intention of raising basically any Inazuma character right now. Because so far I haven't really been interested in any except Kazuha, and I already have him built. And he is kind of maxed. So, yeah. So there's that. Oh, hi, Kira. Thank you so much for the super chat. Didn't realize you had your real name. Oh, that sucks. I have multiple YouTube accounts and sometimes I comment on the wrong ones and that's always awkward. Kira asks, are you pulling on Ball's banner? And the answer is no. No, I am not. That's a hot take. I don't really have any interest in Ball as a unit. I think she's basically going to be as useful as Beto, probably with a little bit better uptime. But I don't like her burst, which is also a hot take. So I don't. Did I already? I didn't already get these things pinging off here. I don't really have any interest in her as a unit. She's just not that interesting to me. And I already have a maxed out Beto. So, and she's C6. So it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if this is the best use of my Primo Gems, and I don't love this character enough to justify spending them. So, nope, no pulling on Ball's banner. I don't have a use for Sarah either. I just don't know if I like her kit. She's built on charge shots, and I hate charge shots, so, you know? So, no reason to pull. Kokomi's banner might have some stuff I might be a little bit more interested in, but I don't think I'll pull on hers either. I don't think I'm pulling until 2.2. And I don't even know what's on 2.2, but I'm assuming we might get like a Toma or a Goro, maybe. And maybe they won't be. Hi. We're gonna juggle you with rocks. Get up. No. Okay. He decided it was nap time. I'm just going to ignore you. Thank you. I stole your food. Why are you burying food in the dirt? That's a weird place to put your food. Anyway. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, like the chat goes fast sometimes and then I lose my place because it like jumps ahead, so I feel like I might have missed some things. Um Corey Anderson, isn't it kind of weird how a catalyst can be either a book or a ball with a hoop? Does that play into your world structure theory at all? Yes, yes, it does. It does. It does, and I've spent like the last 3 weeks researching black holes and basically like interstellar travel for the world structure theory thing. And I didn't do the thing. So yeah, it does actually play a role. Because the whole thing, it's so hard to explain. I'm having a hard time writing it too, just because like the concepts are so out there. I'm trying to put it in terms that make sense and don't sound like crazy, even though they are kind of crazy. I deny nothing. I was looking up Kugel blitzes, and I think there's a lot of merit to comparing some of the things that happen in Genshin to Kugel blitzes, which is basically like compressed light into a black hole, and then the black hole runs as like a power source that you can gain energy from, and you basically surround it with mirrors and shoot electromagnetic radiation at it, and then it like accelerates and gets really fast, and then the energy gets amplified, so you end up with more of it. And but it can be really small, like the size of your hand or smaller, and basically power like the entire planet for almost indefinitely. So I don't really know where I'm going with this. But basically, the way a Kugelblitz would look in theory is kind of like a Dyson sphere, and a Dyson sphere kind of looks like the hoop and the ball thing. So yes, it will play in, and that's all I'm saying on it because I'm going to go off on such a long tangent if I don't. If I don't stop right there. Yep. Slamebo. So, which future region are you most interested in at the current moment? I am most interested in Sumeru because I am excited for Sino or Sino. I don't actually know how you say his name or her name. I don't actually know what Sino's gender is, but I think it's a he because he's shirtless in the trailer. And I don't think MiHoYo would make a shirtless woman in the trailer. They've done some risque costume designs, but I don't think they'd go fully topless. Yeah. So, yep, probably Sumeru. And I'm excited because that's the next one. Also, it's going to bring Dendro, which I think is going to be a huge deal because a totally new element. Yeah. Lots of new dynamics. We're going to get Chasm lore, which the chasm was created by like a star, a falling star, big old falling star. So I cannot wait for that. I am very excited for chasm lore. So yeah, Sumeru. Fontaine looks interesting. I'm not that excited for Fontaine just because like I feel like I don't know. I'm gonna need more information, like confirmed information about Fontaine before I'm actually really invested in it. And for Natlan, we just know so little about it that it's hard to get excited for it. It's like really hard to get excited for Natlan. There's just nothing to talk about. We know that they have hot springs, and we know that they have boxing. I think that's the extent of what we know about Natlin right now. Um, Kira, thanks again for another super chat. Wow, I'm so flattered right now. What's your favorite theory that you hope gets confirmed? Oh no, that gets confirmed. I hope not. Oh, I have one. Here, I have one. Oh wait, no, not this one. Hang on. Let's swap teams for a little bit. Short minute. My favorite theory that I hope gets confirmed is that the Traveler, you see him? This is still the Traveler. And this is still the Traveler. And this is still the Traveler. Because all of these are just the Traveler shape-shifting into stars based on memories that we get from the sky. That's the theory that I want to get confirmed. Because that would be awesome. That'd be really awesome. I actually don't really want to wander around with this team, though, because it's not actually all that built. And I think this is, yeah, Animo Traveler right now. Oh, I guess I don't have a choice. Okay. Hi. I'm not trying to counter here. I just want to gen particles. Yanfei, I don't actually know what you're running right now. What are you running? Some of Yanfei's gear went to Mona because... Ow. Mean. Oh, she does have Lost Prayers on. Okay, so she is running her set. That's nice. Okay. That's good. Yeah, that's the theory that I want confirmed, is that the Traveler is a shapeshifter. That's the one I want. I'm sorry, guys. If you've asked a question, and I didn't answer it, you might want to ask it again because I can't find where I was. I have no idea where I was. I'm so sorry. It keeps jumping on me. Stupid thing. Hang on. Oh, I guess I can't. Okay, fine. Come back here. Oh, Beto's not even running the right sword now. Well. No, we want this one because we're mining. Although... Oh, right, I haven't done this one. Okay. I think that's 3? Aw, Levi's joined me. Hello, Lily. What are you doing? So rare. He hates cuddling. Because he has so much fur and he gets so warm. I was going to do a thing. I totally lost my train of thought. What was I doing? I know what I was going to do. I was going to take Ning out of the party for a bit. No. We keep Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi is a good girl. We're going to take Chung for a bit. Because we can. Chong Yun is a good boy. Let's go to Liwei. I'm in the mood to go to Liwei. Mostly because I was gonna do an artifact run here in a minute. And all the questions come back. Oh my goodness. I'm so. Okay, here we go. What happened? I looked away for like 2 minutes. Ah. Janky Javian asked, do you think La Senora will be playable? Yes, eventually. I don't know when, but eventually. I'm sure. I doubt we'd ever have to wait till Snezhnaya, though. I think all the Harbingers will be playable or at least available. before Snezhnaya. That's just my thought. Yeah, that's just my thought. Oh, hey, Leon A. Thank you so much for the super chat. Love the theories and speculation vids. Do you think we will reach Celestia from the big Venti statue? On the base, it says the gateway to Celestia on it. I don't know. I think it's possible, but there's some interesting things about that statue that make me think it's going to be more like a clue on how we get to Celestia more than the method we get there. So, okay, if you. We're going to get into some real conspiracy territory here. So, hang on. All right. So between the, I'm gonna guess most of you have probably done like the Isle of Wind and Time event, not event, the quest. Oops, I killed the crab. That's the one where it's like, hang on. Okay, so like over here-ish, in this area where my cursor is, this area, joysticks, man, I don't. There's an island that's not marked. Okay. This island over here has apparently some lore about the sealed god of time. And I won't tell you anything else about it, but you should go here and complete this quest if you haven't already. Here's the interesting thing. That island has a puzzle that at a certain time of day, something happens. Okay? I won't tell you the time. But that same time, from there, something interesting happens with this Venti statue. So right now, Venti's statue, if you go straight, which is going to be really hard on a joystick, but if you just draw a straight line over here, it goes right to here. Do you know what's in this spot right here? It's a portal to the spiral abyss. Okay? Now, if you go back to this statue and you set the time to be the hours stated on the Wind and Time quest, his shadow actually falls so it lands directly on the spiral abyss. I don't think that's a coincidence. I legitimately think that at some point, this right here is going to function as some sort of method for us to find out where the gateway to Celestia is. I don't think it is the gateway. Does that make sense? Venti already said that we can't fly there. I'm not actually sure that Celestia is even actually a thing. To be quite honest with you. Like, I know it's mentioned and all that, but I think that the Celestia that we see is not real. I think it exists somewhere else, and I think that whoever was in it is dead and gone. Like, I don't think those gods are still there, but they could be. Who knows? It'll be a good mystery to find out. But yeah, that's my thought. Okay, I'm so far behind. I am so sorry. Okay. Alan Triller, do we have any info on the Dendro Archon or the next region? Yes, we have some. We have some. The problem is a lot of it is like from data that was in the game at one point but isn't in the game anymore. Like it was data mined, and it's no longer a thing. Or at least like the files aren't in game anymore. So I don't feel like I should talk about them so much. But at the very least, we know a few things about the Dendro Archon. The first is that he is the youngest of the Archons. But whether that means he's youngest by age or he's just been the Archon for the least amount of time is unclear. We know that he is replacing the Archon of, well, the Dendro Archon, after the Dendro Archon died in the battle that felled Conria 500 years ago, like in the Cataclysm. So Yeah. So the original Dendro Archon was the god of. Where is he? Where is this thing? Oh, he's all the way over there. Okay. Well, that's fine. The original Dendro Archon was the god of wisdom, and the current. No, I'm sorry. I just got myself all screwed up because I'm like trying to do three things at once. Uh, the original Dendro Archon was the god of woods, and I don't know if that was like the original Dendro Archon, so like the very first Archon that served for Dendro, or if it was just like the next most recent one. It's we have no information on that, but like the one that came before this one was the god of woods, and this Archon that is currently serving is the god of wisdom, which is ironic because again he's the youngest and has been an Archon for the least amount of time. So, that's kind of all we have. Other than that, I can tell you that there's a possibility that the Dendro Archon, the current one, caused a flood of mushrooms. But that's a little bit of speculation based on some other stuff that's in game currently. We just think it happened as a result of something the Dendro Archon did, but I just like the idea of there being a fungal flood, like a giant flood of mushrooms, just because an Archon got pissed off. Like no flood waters, no like tornadoes, just like mushrooms everywhere. Anyway. As for the next region, we know a bit. We know a bit. A little bit. But I feel like I've already talked about Sumeru today, so I think I'll just leave it there before I get like really distracted. Like I said, I am a magpie. I'm just Ziggy asks, have you heard the Honkai World Diva song? It mentions a Crimson Moon like the one in Raiden's Domain expansion. The song also happens to be Raiden Mei's theme song. Actually, that song I think is the same one that's actually from Gun Girl Z, which is a game that MiHoYo did earlier. And then they've just been using it in basically every game since. I'm honestly waiting for a remix of it to show up in Genshin. And I'm kind of surprised one hasn't already. I want the things. Give me all the things. Ha ha ha. Whee! Lordagrim asks, what if Ball's defective doll gets possessed by Orobashi and is now Scaramouche? I don't think that's going to happen. Because from Kokomi's little bio description that they posted in the live stream, it kind of implies that she can be possessed by Orobashi's will, and that only that bloodline can have that ability. So I don't know that that's the case. Now, whether or not Scaramouche is like in some way corrupted from the Tataragimi, that's like another question, I think. I don't think he's containing the wrathful spirit of Orobashi. But I think he could have some sort of like corruption based on the Tataragimi, which is a result of Orobashi. So it's kind of like, I don't know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, I guess. We'll see. Coriander Sim, any thoughts on Venti having half blue, half green eyes? No, sorry. I think I scrolled up way too far. Ron asks, do you think a Honkai character will get added in Genshin as a collaboration? If yes, who do you want to see? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I feel like we've already got enough Honkai characters in here, honestly. Like, this guy right here, Honkai fans are totally going to disagree with me, but I'm like 80% sure that Zhang Li is based on Welt Yang, which is the Hersher of Reason. Um, and Venti is obviously based on Wendy, who was a Hersher as well. I can't remember what the heck she was a Hersher of. Maybe she was just the Hersher of Winds. I can't remember. She was only around for a very short period of time. But then obviously Raiden A, which is Genshin's Raiden Shogun, right? Yeah. Is obviously post Odyssey Raiden Mei. And Raiden Mei is technically like a kind of like a reincarnation of Dr. May, who was like a previous era doctor. So like there's that, and then we have Kiana, who's either Paimon or the Unknown God, who knows? Unknown God's probably more Hersher of the Void, which could be technically the same thing, depending on who you ask. And then I'm pretty sure the Pyro Archon is going to be based on Himiko Murata. Oh. Problematic. I guess I'm out of space. Okay. I see how it is. I guess we'll raise something. I don't know what to raise. I guess we can just do Mona's. Well, let's not do Mona's flower. I'm never gonna use it. Oh dear. I'm gonna do a clock. I have clocks that can use raising. Not great ones, but decent ones. Free up some space. I think if anyone was gonna get added, it would be like like straight up. I'm just so convinced we're actually gonna see Honkai characters that I just I don't know. I don't know. Oh hey, Ikuraga! Thank you so much for your super chat. Who do you think is the real antagonist of the Cataclysm? Do you think Celestia are the bad guys or the Abyss? Also, Senora Justified or Glory to Venti? Well, hang on, what's this gonna roll? HP, yes, of course, because why would it roll anything else? Okay, so I don't think there's necessarily a real antagonist of the Cataclysm. We've kind of established that Gold is responsible for the Cataclysm, whether or not, like, they were just the catalyst for it, or whether or not they actually caused it outright. It's unclear. We just don't have enough information on that right now, I don't think. But I honestly think the transmutation circle thing has merit, but only within the context of like a few different theories. I have a couple of theories in the bank that like completely conflict with my current world structure ideas, as well as the like radiation theory that I just put out and other things. And just FYI, I don't think all my theories have to like work together, and they won't. So I'm not sure. Depending on which way I look at it, it could be anything. But I do think it has something to do with alchemy. I think it has something to do with transmutation, and I do think it has something to do with the idea of humans wanting to sort of transcend where they should be. But I kind of feel like that's an obvious answer. As in, I think you're asking, when you ask about Senora being justified, I think you're asking about her kicking Venti. Venti's a little shit, so yeah, sure, kick him in the gut, it's fine. But I also love Venti. But he did ask for that. I mean, he did spur her on. She was just gonna leave him. And he was like, I'm gonna make fun of you. And she's like, no. So, justified, yeah. but I like Venti. Hello. Oh, I just auto-aimed myself off a cliff. Hey, dude, where'd you go? No, come back here. I don't get the auto-aim in this game sometimes. Just gonna yeet myself off a cliff. Alright, that sounds fun. Gimme. Thank you. Oh, cheers. Okay, I see what's happening. Every time it gives me a super chat, it friggin' jumps me around. I've probably missed some super chats now, and I feel really bad. Yeah, I have. Oh my god, I am so sorry. Okay, hang on. I have to get a better system for this, or like another monitor here. Uh, Hang on. Freddie Jokers, thank you so much for your super chat and the half a wish. I have no idea what currency that is. So I don't actually know how that translates. But hey, a half a wish might actually be slightly more than half a wish because the top up reset is coming. Although I've only really bought the packs once. So I don't know where that really like puts me, honestly. But thank you all the same. I still have no idea how much that is. Oof 92. Do I think Varka or Jean could take on one of the Harbingers? Varka, yes. Jean, maybe. Probably not. Jean is Jean's one of those characters where I think like she's traditionally strong, but I don't know that she is built in a way to handle unknowns all that well. I feel like she's a lot more like Noelle than I don't know. I just feel like in the face of delusions and stuff, she'd have a hard time, whereas someone like Kaya or Diluc would probably have an easier time, just due to adaptability. So I feel like she'd be at a severe disadvantage when fighting a Harbinger. But Varka's seen some shit, so I think he'll be fine. If Varka doesn't look like a super buff Santa, I will be very upset. We better get a buff male model in this game at some point, because, like, Varka cannot show up with his lore being him, like, this super tall giant of a man, and then he shows up in, like, looking like Zhongli. I don't know what would... I would be kind of upset. Legitimately be upset. Sarah. Wyatt. What delusion do you think Scaramouche might have? I think he'll either be Animo and Electro, or Electro and Pyro. That's what I'm thinking right now. That's what I'm thinking right now. I think I'd like him to... I'm kind of torn whether I'd like him to be an Animo character, because I really like Animo characters, and I could use another one. But I also am, like, really light on Electro characters. I basically have Beto. And Electro Traveler sometimes. But I don't really use Electro Traveler. I like Animo Traveler best. So, I don't know. I think I'd rather him be Electro, just so I could have another Electro character that I could justify using. So Pyro Delusion would be fun. Franziska von Karma. Aw, yay, Ace Attorney. Isn't the Vision Hunt decree based on a real-life event in Japan? Yes! Now, my knowledge of dates is horrible. However, the Sakoku... The Sakoku decree was a real decree, except it was a sword hunt thing. Sword hunting. And all those swords were seized all across Japan, and melted down to form a giant statue of Buddha. So that's basically what they're referencing here by stealing all the visions and then putting them into a statue. They're basically just saying, they're basically just reliving that. During that time period, Japan completely closed itself off. For all intents and purposes, it had no outside trade, no news, no nothing. And for a very long time, Japan was kind of like this time capsule almost. So what's going on is actually really kind of cool and very fitting for, Inazuma. It's kind of a neat way to learn about history without actually learning about history. Might make it easier to remember because some people have a hard time remembering real world history when it's actually, real world stuff. But can totally remember like really obscure facts from video games. I'm not talking about myself at all. But yeah, I mean, I gotta give credit to MiHoYo because they definitely do their research, They definitely do their research and they're trying to make things as historically accurate as How do you miss that? It's like right in front of you. Okay, whatever, show. Whoa. That was loud. Yeah, they definitely do their research in that regard. But actually, that's part of the reason why I think that Teyvat might actually be our Earth, but in an alternate universe. It's just one of those things where, like, there's enough evidence to suggest it that it might just actually be true, especially because in Honkai that is supposed to be Earth, but in an alternate universe, And since Genshin is supposed to be based in the same multiverse as the whole thing, it's kind of one of those things where you're just like, well, what if this is just another parallel universe, So that's what I'm thinking. Grinded Mind, do you have any idea about loading screen elements queuing? I don't understand the question. You mean like the elements are loading? Like what does that mean? I don't understand the question that well. I'm sorry. I don't know how to answer that. PK Miss, do you think Archon residue is related to the creation of delusions? Yes. And no. I've actually been thinking recently that delusions might, big emphasis on the might, okay, theory. I'm thinking that delusions might be masterless visions, okay? And I think the masterless visions are being injected with some sort of force of will. And those that have the strongest will are the gods currently. Because like when you watch like a god like Havria, or mostly Havria is our one big thing. But when a god dies, it's like they kind of explode into their element, or their power explodes. So everything around Havria turned to salt, right? And she was the goddess of salt. So I'm sitting here going, all right, so when they die, they actually just set off this gigantic explosion of their energy, right? That implies that they have a ton of energy. And then we know that from Xiao here that all of the demons that he's purging are really just the leftover resentment from the gods of old, right? So those old gods, their will and their grudge and their feelings were so strong that they left curses essentially all across the land that he's still purging but can't like fully purge. And I'm like, well, that sounds like it could be something similar to Archon residue. And if you were to collect that and then inject it into something like a masterless vision, could you then have like a forcefully reawakened vision, and that's why they're not that stable and all that. Right? Like, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I know it's like a really disjointed theory right now, but it's not actually a theory yet. It's just speculation at this point. Did I get all my things? I didn't. I'm still going to Dragonspine. We still going to Dragonspine, fellas? Hey, Meanie, thank you so much for your super chat. Love your content and your voice. Oh, thank you. People at work call me a chipmunk. It's always so much fun. Sorry. Any thoughts on Gnosis and how Archons differ from human allogenes? How Venti summons his domain with Stanley after losing his Gnosis always stood out to me. It's really funny you say that because I totally forgot that we've seen Venti's domain. Until 2 days ago when I was like, wait a minute. Because I was going through old footage and there was like this really weird thumbnail of Venti in my folder, and I was like, what is this? And then I don't know. I completely forgot that happened. So now we have evidence of 2 Archons having domains, which is super weird to me. And I really want to see Zhongli's domain now because we haven't seen it at all. But he also teaches the Adepti how to make subspaces. And so I wonder if like Archons are actually teapots in some way. Or if their Gnosis are actually teapots, like a subspace of sorts. I don't know, like there's some weird things going on. Something interesting that I should say I noticed, but I had forgotten about, and then someone else pointed it out, is that the original Archons were likely not human. None of them. So far, we know that Venti was a wind spirit, and Zhongli was an Adeptus. Oops. But like a dragon Adeptus, so he wasn't human. And we don't know what Baal was, but there's actually a good chance Baal was human. But she's not the original Archon, so maybe the original Baal was like an Oni or something, right? Or even a fox. There's a lot of possibilities there. And that just means that basically every Archon would probably not be human, and we only really know of 2 humans? Kind of? I mean, we think Guhua might have been a human because he was an Adepti, but he could have been a human that became an Adepti, because that's actually kind of a thing. Sort of. At least they say they can, but I don't... Anyway. I don't remember too well. I have to go look up my Guhua lore. So please don't quote me on that right now. But at the very, very least, Vanessa was a human that ascended, but she never had a vision. So, like, we actually haven't had a vision user who's ascended to Celestia that we know of yet. Which is kind of weird because that's supposedly what visions are supposed to be for, like gifts from the gods so that you can become gods, or at least that's what Venti says, and maybe that's what Zhongli thinks. And that's why he's surprised that it lets you use elements. But like, I like the whole thing is really confusing. This is gonna be weird. I usually have Ning or something for this. Okay, well that works. I guess we'll just like melee you to death then. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I have really disjointed thoughts on them. The Gnosis... The Gnosis are weird. Like, on one level, I'm like, I know that they have, like, an actual mechanic, but on another level, I'm just like, they're really just marking down chess pieces, and Celestia's literally playing with the lives of gods and men like they're some kind of specialized toy. I don't really like Celestia all that much. Guys ask hard questions. Or at least questions that are difficult to, like, give really concise answers to. um, Ryuk 234. Thoughts on what the Fatui wanted from Tataru Tsuna? Wouldn't it be easier to just buy one from Fontaine? Yeah. I don't know that they wanted anything other than data. Because like we were saying earlier with the Archon residue, I think that Tatara Tsuna, it's powered by the Tataragami, right? Like it's full of godlike power that's being put into, mechanical form, basically, in the forge, right? And I feel like learning about that and being close to the actual power source where they can work with crystal marrow and everything is probably really beneficial to them. So that's kind of what I think they're doing there. I don't necessarily that they find the technology interesting so much as the information that they can get from it. Upset Banana, can we get a dog live stream? My dogs don't really do much, honestly. Like, I walk them about 5 miles a day, but I don't know that anyone wants to watch me walk through the woods for 5 miles just staring at my dog's butts. That might be kind of funny. I do post dog pictures on Twitter, though. So if you guys want to see my puppies, I usually put them on Twitter. They're not actually puppies. It's just they're dogs and they're adorable and therefore they are puppies, right? Like, they're not young. They're 4 and 5. But they don't play much. They're not like the super playful dogs. They're really chill. They just like to chase things. That's what I get for having Australian Shepherds. They have no idea how to play. They will fetch something once and then they decide that they're bored. They don't want to fetch anything anymore. And then they're like, no, I just want to go up this ladder, please. Can I just go up the ladder? Thank you. They won't play with sticks. They don't do any of that kind of stuff. They're just like, yeah, we just want to chase things. But they're also terrible hunters, and if it stops moving, they stop caring. Although, I swear, sometimes they're so sneaky that they'll just appear next to me, and I'll jump full foot out of my chair because I won't know where they came from. I don't know if you can hear her drinking. But she makes me giggle. Did I get these? I don't remember if I got these ones. I am not paying attention. The chasm! I want to go here! Can we go here, please? Yeah! Sorry. I just had a moment. In the loading screen, the elements are placed in a certain order that doesn't appear anywhere else. I think they were asking if I had any idea why they were in that order. Oh, there's a lot of discourse on this, actually. Right now, I think the most popular theory, which I'm not sure if I'm on board with, is that the elements are in the order of the... This is going to be hard to explain without a visual aid. Okay, so you know how when you set up a chessboard, right? You put certain pieces in certain places because that's the way you set up a chessboard? All right, so the reigning theory right now is that the elements are in the order to correspond to the matching chess piece. So, for example, Geo is in the spot where the rook would be on a chessboard. Oh, he's over here. You're not dead. Can you just, like, please? Thank you. So like Geo is in the place where the rook would be, and Animo is in the place where the queen would be, and so Electro should be in the place where the king should be, which means that it should be the king gnosis. So we'll be able to confirm whether or not this theory is accurate, like end of 2.1, hopefully. But as for me, I don't know that I have any particular idea other than they're probably just trying to be really consistent. That's really the only one that makes sense. Otherwise, everything seems really random. I don't need this core lapis. I don't know why I'm taking it, but it's mine now. R. Draco, I have been trying to share that Dendro already has more reactions than Burn. Can I pass you a gift with the little evidence I have where it reacts with Cryo? Interesting. I mean, we can test it reacting on Cryo, like right now, if you want to. That's a thing we could do. But yeah, hit me up on Twitter for it if you have it. My Twitter is on the about page on this YouTube page thing. The about tab, that thing. I feel like I should know a lot more about YouTube than I do. They have training courses. I should probably take one. Seth Rodriguez, do you think Dottore is the mass constellation? Which mass constellation? There are two. But actually, don't answer that because no, I don't. Here's why. Oh, there it is. I always get messed up on this one. Come here. Give me the rock! Mine. Okay, so here's the thing. In the comic, right, Dottore actually has, like, a weapon that he shows. And that weapon... What are you, a monkey? How are you like this? Wait. Wait. You know... I don't want... You know what? Alright, in the comic, he actually pulls out a weapon-like thing, and they look like big ol' spikes, like big nails. One of the constellations is a big nail. So I actually think that Dottore is the triple nail constellation, and not the Plague Doctor's mask. The other reason is because Dottore is not actually a medical doctor. He's a doctorate, as in like a PhD doctor. And we can confirm that based on the Chinese characters used for his name, as well as the fact that there's another Commedia character that is called Medico. He might be the Plague Doctor, although the Plague Doctor actually fits Pulcinella really well. I'm probably saying that really wrong. I'm sorry. I'm not good at Italian. But Pulcinella was in the Travail trailer, right? And he's also known as the Rooster, so he had like this really long beak. So the Plague Doctor mask would actually suit him really well. So I think he's more likely. Or one of the missing harbingers is going to be Medico. But I actually think one of the missing harbingers might actually be what is it? Is it Rufiella or Rufina? I think it's Rufina. Regardless, she was like a fortune teller kind of mystical person. And I think they could use another female in the Fatui. So I think she's a good candidate. So those are two that are good options there. But I don't think they're Dottore. The other mask, the Crying Mask, is almost 100% Piero. Or the Joker. if it's not him, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Um, Aquiline, you notice that Raiden folds up her non-dominant hand's kimono and wears her hairpin at her right side. When I saw the teaser, it almost looked like a horn from the side. Yup. And interestingly, that same design is basically replicated on the shoulder armor spike on Scaramouche too. You put them together and it's almost like you have a whole piece. Which is kind of weird when you think about it. I don't know what it means though. I wish I could tell you I knew more about Japanese garments and symbolism in that way, but I don't. I have to, those sorts of things I have to look up. It's not in my data bank. Sleek 11, do you think there will be more elements to come, light and dark or ethereal and force, somewhat representing Celestia, Abyss? Dane already uses a force type of power. Yes, I think we're getting 5 more elements. No, I'm not elaborating. I just think we're getting 5 more. For 12 total. When? Who knows? That's the big ol' question. I do think we're more likely to get double elements first, though. Like, characters that are able to run both a vision and a delusion. Because I think getting delusions is going to be a really easy thing. Easy way to power up characters from a gotcha perspective, right? Because you could gotcha for someone's delusion form. So I think that's one of the next things. Wyatt, thoughts on Paimon? Many thoughts on Paimon. I'm not going into it here though because Paimon is like a gigantic rabbit hole of death and destruction to my brain, and I don't want to do that to myself right now. I don't want to make me. There are some really cool theories about Paimon floating around though. That I kind of want to think more on and work a little bit more with. I have my own ideas about who she is and where she's from, and I think they're valid, but I kind of want to compile them all into one video to kind of explore the pros and cons of each, and the feasibility of each. So I'm going to hold off on talking about that, I think. Isaac Sloan, if Genshin makes it to where past characters become playable and all that, who would I be interested in? Oh man, I don't know. That's a lot of options. Like a lot of options. Right now, probably Akko Demeki because he sounds like a really chaotic pirate, and I'm always on board for a chaotic pirate. But beyond that, this is a super boring answer, but probably Vanessa or the Viridescent Venerer. I think that's who I would want to play. But if I can choose from anyone, I would be happy with any of the Yakshas. I would love to be able to play with a Yaksha. I want Zhao to have his family back. He's my boy and deserves friends. That would be great. I want to play as the Yakshas. They're all dead. Well, they're not all dead, but kind of close. Zoelia.mp4. Being talked to by a file name. I don't know how I feel about that. Do you think when someone is given a delusion, are they given a delusion that is connected to their own ambition or a delusion of an element that they want? Just asking. I think they have no choice. I think it's more like the delusion is whatever element it is, and if you want a delusion, this is the one you're getting. Because I don't think there's a lot of, I don't know. The thing is like, all right, here's the thing. Oh, this one. Oh, goodness. All right, here's the thing. If I can find the thing, I can show you what the thing is. All right, see that right there in the middle there? Why can't I, like, zoom in? It's so annoying that I can't zoom in, you know? In the very middle there, right below her hands, you see that Shneznaya delusion? You can see it quite clearly. Mirror Maidens are all hydro. Whereas, like, Cryoseasons are all cryo. And Electroseasons are all electro, and Fatui agents are all pyro. You see that delusion there? Like, I feel like you're just giving them, because these guys don't seem like they have any great ambition. They're just like, are you here to play with me? That doesn't really seem like a great, you know? It doesn't really seem like a great ambition. I don't even think they have their own ambitions. I think it's just delusions are what they are, and they just give you power regardless, you know? That's just my thoughts on it. Victor Angel, do you believe A was a vision wielder who was chosen, or just another immortal under the original Electro Archon? Given that A doesn't seem to have a vision on her person anywhere, and I've looked at her model close enough to be able to tell you that there are butterflies on her underwear and not lace. Please don't do this. I do what I do in the sake of theories and knowledge. Don't lewd the little, you know, polygons. They're innocent. It's a fly in my face. What was I saying? Oh, right. She has no vision. So I don't know if someone would keep their vision even if they didn't need it, like after they ascended. I don't even know if people keep their memories for the most part, like the new ones, like if they have to go through some sort of transformation process after ascending to Celestia, because we know nothing about that process, you know? So I just don't know. I guess, like, if I had to pick something, I'd say I'm in the camp that I think she's actually an Oni or a yokai. That would be my guess. I don't necessarily think she was human, but I think so far she has the highest chance of being human of any of the Archons that we've encountered so far. So there's that, I guess. I don't know if that's helpful. I'm very wishy-washy on a lot of these things. I apologize. I just don't have clear support one way or another. That's the problem. That is the problem. Oof 92. During the Dvalin quest, Kaya told us that there was a princess of the abyss, and that is our sibling. Do you think he knows that it is the traveler's sibling and is hiding it from us? I think Kaya knows a lot less than we think he does. So I don't think he knows that that princess or prince, depending on who you're playing as, is our sibling. I don't. I really don't think Kaya is as involved with the Abyss as people seem to think. I don't want to fight you, dude. Just don't hit me. I hit back and it hurts. So, yeah. I think I've kind of cleared this stuff out. Except I guess I can go around this area here. But do I want to is the question. Oh, right. There's this one over here I have not gone to yet. Yeah. I was in the middle of reading a question and then the thing goes blue. Goodness. Where did it go? I have lost. Oh my goodness. I think I'm like way far behind. I don't even know how far behind I am. 8:56. Oh, okay. I'm like 10, 15 minutes behind, I think. think I'm like, okay, maybe I'm more like 15, 20 minutes. Ah, hang on. Hang on. I'm sorry. All right, I have no idea where I was. I might skip some questions. I'm sorry about that. I have honestly no idea where I am. Um, what weapon that isn't in the game would you love to be in the game the most? Is that like a? I think you mean like a weapon type. Mm. For weapon types, I want like, what do I want? What do I want? What would be really cool? What would be like super cool? Super cool. I want fists. I want to have like a martial artist class. That's what I would want. Like one of the things that irritates me about Chong Yun is I feel like he should be like punching things, and he's not. And I'm like, I want you to punch things. Don't hit them with a stick. Punch them, kick them and stuff. Like I want to do that. I want like a legit martial artist. That's what I want. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Lightning Eagle. Thank you so much for your super chat. What's this say? What's this say? Keep up the great videos. I enjoy watching. I wish I could make big brain theories. You can make big brain theories. You just have to be suspicious of everything. Oh my god, I have such a crack theory to share with you guys that was like discovered on accident, and I'm going totally the wrong way. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not paying attention. Are you guys even watching the screen? I don't think you are. No one cares what I'm doing on screen. I'm just gonna run around in circles for the next 20 minutes, and no one's gonna care. I legit went over to the pools over here that we're looking at like earlier today. I'm sorry, I'll get back to this in a second. Um, and I haven't been here for I don't know, like 5 months because I've not had a reason to go back to this area. And I found 2 chests and 2 puzzles that I had completely not found before. And I am at AR 57, and I have everything in leeway at 100% completion, so I have no idea how that happened. Anyway, fun thing. But yeah. Okay, I have like this really, 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 really cracked theory that I'm gonna make a little tiny video on because it's the most conspiratorial video ever, and I'm still mad about it. I'm still so mad about it. It's one of those like crack theories that like when someone asks how far does a rabbit hole actually go, I'm gonna look at them and say it goes this fucking far. The rabbit hole is so deep. You get so lost. Um uh it did the thing where it went through the. Okay, I think I probably skipped some questions again, so I'm sorry. If you notice your question has been skipped, please ask it again. Um, okay, let's see. Let's see. Dragon Thunder B. Any idea why every hypostasis has a Hebrew letter as its name? I think that's more aesthetic than anything, but I do think that that might mean we're only going to be getting 26 hypostases. Well, less than that because Hebrew letters don't technically. Well, I guess they do. The thing is like Old Hebrew didn't really use vowels, so I think it means we'll have like a maximum of 26 hypostases. But that's a lot of hypostases over the course of 4 years when you really think about it. That's a lot of hypostases. Um, Rube 234, what do you think about Zhongli's vision of. Do you stop talking? Jeez, him, Grandpa. What do you think about Zhongli's vision on his model? Venti tells us about his is fake, but Zhongli makes no mention of such a thing, so is it real? No, it's not real. it's supposed to function like a real vision, just for like game mechanic purposes, but no, it's not real. It's hard to say like 100% no, it's not real. Just because the reason we know Ventis isn't real is because of unreconciled stars. Just like everything, so much relies on that event. I swear to God. See, in Unreconciled Stars, there was this thing where you basically played Marco Polo with star fragments all over the world, and you had to like, you see Zhao's vision there on his arm. He has this like the smallest vision in the game, by the way. Like it's so tiny. Um, or Chi-Chi's vision on her hat. Like when you would be walking around the world looking for the meteor fragments, the vision would start to pulse with light as you got closer. The exception to this was Venti, because Venti had a fake vision, so his vision never pulsed, so you couldn't use him to find the meteor chunks. My guess is that Zhongli's would do the same thing. And there's actually a pretty good chance that they might rerun the Unreconciled Stars event in November, because that's when it ran the first time. And that actually ties into a theory about something else that I mentioned earlier that I'm not going to talk about right now because I want to talk about it later. I got all of these, I think. I didn't get this one, but this one requires fighting, and fighting requires brain power, and I don't want to. Renikel, any thoughts about how the seized visions affecting memories relates to those 3 years Diluc was traveling visionless? Yes and no and no and yes. I think one thing that we forget a lot is that there's a difference between someone who's given up their vision willingly and someone who's had a vision forcibly taken away. Diluc left his vision behind, right? And when he left his vision behind, he made that conscious choice to do so. He decided to do that. So, in a way, he was basically putting aside his ambition. He was putting it on hold, right? But if his vision was forcibly seized from him, it's possible that that could have ended up very differently. Right now, it's hard to say much else because we have like 3 cases, I think, of someone willingly giving up their vision and being fine. But then we also have like another 3 or 4 cases where people have, you know, had their vision taken away and not been fine. So that's kind of where my head is currently. I'm just wondering at this point. I think I've gathered all of the things I wanted to gather. Okay. Kaylee Howard, do you think it was because of gold or that the Tsaritsa had any dealings with Conrio when the cataclysm happened that caused her personality to change? A lot of people are currently speculating that the Cryo Archon, so the Tsaritsa, was in love with the Dendro Archon, who is dead and died in that cataclysm. I'm not sure if that's all there is to it. I think it's one of those situations where the Cryo Archon, saw something in the world that they weren't expecting. In the cataclysm, and realized that their role as Archon was probably not to serve and protect her people the way she thought it was. And then ended up wanting to seek revenge on Celestia for basically lying to her. She's kind of like overthrowing the system because she thinks the system is flawed. But that's just... I'm stuck in the wall! I don't want to be stuck in the wall. Leave me out of here. Get me out of the wall. Oh my god. I hate this cave. There's always good stuff in this cave, but I hate it. Give me that. I deserve that. Getting stuck in the wall. Amy. So it's hard to say. It also kind of depends on whether you think the Saritsa is based on Teresa from Honkai, or if she's based on Anna Skarik, who is a Hersher of Ice, or if she's based on Branya. It could be any of those three. All of them are very equally likely, but they're all very different. Like the Hersher of Ice has a romantic story. Like she has a very tragic love story, right? So then if the Hersher of Ice was the Saritsa in Genshin, then you could safely say that it's probably true that, you know, oh, I remember what I wanted to do earlier and then totally spaced it because I'm a dum-dum. She's totally based on the Hersher of Ice. Like she was in love with the Dendro Archon. Like that would make sense because in Honkai that was a romantic story, right? But Teresa doesn't have any such thing. But she has a lot of like Orthodox Christian sort of symbolism to her. Like she's named Teresa, and I guess everyone's instantly gonna think like Mother Teresa. Not really, but anyway. But if you consider it to be Branya, Branya was Russian. And so since Snezhnaya is basically like Russia, can they not like can I just want the crystals. Get rid of crystal flies. Get rid of crystal flies. Zhangli, you suck at this. I'm gonna blame the polygons here. I'm not gonna blame myself because that seems silly. Anyway, it just depends. It just depends on how you think that's gonna go. Palm Top Tiger, but why does he have an eye patch though? Did he lose his eye fighting the Abyss? Are you talking about Kaya? Because Kaya never fought in the Abyss. He would have been a child, like a literal child, like 8 or 9 years old, probably, most likely. So it's very unlikely that Kaya fought in the Abyss. No one knows why he's missing an eye. He says something about pirates. I have a whole huge theory on it based on this one Reddit post that I think is absolutely amazing, and I'm gonna be doing a theory on it, so I don't want to talk about it again here, cause spoilers. Although now that I'm not mining, let's run this for a bit. Let's run my other boy. You need to exercise your dogs, you know. You need to exercise your Genshin characters too. Everybody needs exercise. It's very healthy. Endorphins make you happy. They don't actually, because the endorphins generated from exercise actually don't pass the blood-brain barrier, which is a fun fact. Which makes like the entire plot of Legally Blonde like completely null and void, which is also hilarious. But that movie's also old, so we'll forgive it because that science wasn't around. Kaya, give it. Haha, we got him. I lost my train. What was I talking about? I got so caught up on like trying to catch these crystal flies that I completely spaced it. Planeswalker, do you think Dainsleif is aware of Kaya or vice versa? I don't know, man. It seems weird that Dainsleif would be in the bar that Kaya frequents. And like walking around Mondstadt, but like not wanting to go in a church, but like just walking around Mondstadt, but then not wanting to go into Andreas's arena, but then walking around it completely in the like it's super weird. I don't know. I think Dainsleif is probably aware to an extent, but I don't think Kaya is aware. And I don't know that Kaya is even as important as we think he is. Like I waffle back and forth on that. But we'll see. Here's the thing though. This is a really hot take, and anyone who plays Honkai will probably really disagree with me. But there's a character in Honkai whose name is Sue, and I am like 95% certain that Kaya is supposed to be Genshin's Sue. And I have evidence for it. And no one who hasn't read those comics is gonna understand why that's kind of bizarre or why that's important. But basically, Sue is one of the most important characters in Honkai that never really gets attention because he's someone who basically met God at one point. And it's complicated. That's where I'm gonna leave it. But I think I feel like they're gonna go for that whole thing where he is supposed to be as important as Sue. Um, but I could also be way off base, and Sue ends up being the Dendro Archon. Uh, which would also be kind of cool, but a little bit disappointing. Um, uh, but let's see. Yeah, that's all I got for now. That's where I'm gonna leave it. That's where I'm gonna leave it. About Ball not having a vision, did you check her back behind her braids? There is something that looks like a vision there. Thoughts? No, it's exactly the same gem as what's on her front. For the most part, it's not a vision. For one, it's missing the casing, which could be a big deal and could not be a big deal depending on who you ask. Because again, vision casings are huge discourse. I could do a whole video on them, but I don't want to because they make my head spin. And I'm still mad at them for making my head spin. Yes, I can be mad at some polygons. It's fine. It's totally healthy. Totally normal. This is totally normal. There it is. I knew there was another one over here. Okay, now back to Inazuma because I think we've wiped this place as clean as I want to go. All the way across this big blue water. So I don't remember where all of the electro thingies are here. I know that there's some down here somewhere. Anyway. Black Rabbit, the Traveler was stripped of their power. Do you think the state we see the Traveler shown in the 2.1 trailer may be a lesser form of their power through the use of the statue? Yes and no. Actually, we've already seen that power, and I was just reminded of this recently. Back in Leeway, when we were fighting Osile, the Adepti actually gave us a ton of energy, like just raw Adeptal energy. And when we did that, we turned gold. Like we had all of that same swirly, magic-y, colory kind of stuff, you know? So I feel like we've already done that, and it might be more like every region, every story conclusion, we're going to be seeing us in our original, like releasing our original powers of sorts. I'm a little conflicted on what it means though, and that was a waste of time. Like there was like one crystal fly there. One crystal fly. Slimebo7, do you think we'll see new Archons take the place of Venti or Zhongli at some point in Genshin's lifespan, whether there's somebody we already know or somebody new? No. I am wondering, however, if we will see the ascension of a new Archon, though. I am personally not convinced we will. I think it's a possibility. I'm not convinced yet. Because, like, you're not an Archon without a Gnosis, right? And if the Tsaritsa has the Gnosis, unless she's planning on turning her Harbingers into Archons, which would also be kind of odd. Like, I don't know how we would see that happen. But I'm just wondering if we'll get to, like, I don't know, Fontaine, like Natlan or something, or Fontaine, and like when we get there, before we can even resonate with the statue, like the Archon is killed outright. And like the whole story in Fontaine for like a version update or something is like finding the next Archon. Right. Because without an Archon, you can't take the Gnosis or something. So we get to witness the Ascension or whatever, and then we get to take it. I feel like something like that might be possible, but I don't know that they're gonna go that route. Like, I'm not convinced of that. Maybe they will. Who knows? It seems unlikely. I'm sorry if I butcher your name. Lo Chea Wang? Do you think that Liney is a Fatui harbinger? No, I don't. I have no basis for that. I don't think he is. Yeah, I don't think he is. I mean, maybe, but I don't think so. NTR, thoughts on Kokomi's ancestors being from outside Tevat from the Black Sea? Um, yeah, I mean, that's how it is. um, there's a few things I'm curious about, and I don't know that we're really going to learn much about the Dark Sea Beyond yet. Just because it's been generations, you know, like it's been a long time. So it's hard to say that Kokomi or any of her people have any real tight connection to the Dark Sea anymore, you know? Like, there's a. When the blood gets watered down because you've lived in a place for so long, you know? Like, are you still from that place? Or are you from the place you're currently living in? As far as she's concerned, Watatsumi Island is her island. Like, that is her home. This is where she's from. This is where her people are from, you know? So I don't know that she knows a whole lot about the Dark Sea, but maybe we'll just get like a taste of it. But the fact that she exists and that her people came from a lineage of the Dark Sea is really interesting to me, because that means there are people who survived out there, you know, outside of Tevat. And it makes you wonder how big Tevat actually is. Because I did some really rough math once, and the current size of Tevat is like, I think like around the size of Great Britain. And that would be everything, which is not that big. And I need to like double check that, because I did super loose math in my head one day. I was like, wait a minute, if this is this and this is that, and that's making like a lot of assumptions and not including a lot of DLC areas and stuff that we may or may not get, because who knows. Like, I have no idea how big the chasm would be. I would assume it would be like the size of Dragonspine, but who knows? Will all the regions be the same size, or will they get bigger? I don't know. But anyway, Tevat's pretty small, like, all things considered. So, like, if we're just one continent on a planet and there's just a lot of stuff outside of the Dark Sea, that would be really interesting to me. So I'm kind of hoping we'll get a taste of that Unreconciled Star style, you know? That would be cool. HB Shock, how much do you think Zhongli knows about the Traveler that he's hiding due to contracts with other people? He mentioned he couldn't answer our question before because of one. I think Zhongli knows way too much. I I know I've said Venti is sus, like super sus, and he really is. Like, Venti is this. Venti is ridiculous. I think Venti is from the abyss. Like, I legitimately do, but that's like a whole nother discussion. But Zhongli is literally the oldest person we know about, period. He's over 6,000 years old. He's not even 6,000. He is over 6,000 years old, right? And I think we only really have evidence for Tevat having existed in its current state for around 10,000 years, which by and look at these dudes just all sunbathing together. Look at them. They're just having a great. Oh, okay, I'm gone. Bye. I'm going. Oh, wait, I want the stuff. Okay, never mind. For a minute there, I forgot what team I was running. Hey, that was mean. Oh, you're still alive. I don't appreciate that. You're still alive. Man, Kazuha has like no physical damage on him at all. None. I didn't build him for that though. Yeah, I legitimately think Zhongli knows way more than he's letting on. But that was the case with Welt Yang and Honkai too. Anyway, it's my little ramble. Dragon Thunder B. Is it possible that Baal or A is somehow connected to the hypostases? Baalzebub is an evil spirit of forest and woods. Could she be connected? I don't think so. I think the Baal in this case is far more likely to be a reference to. I mean, I put this in the Baal analysis video, right? Like, I really just think it's a reference to Hadad and like that region's deities. I don't think it's actually referring to Beelzebub. The thing is that Baal literally means lord or emperor, kind of like that kind of lord, right? It can also mean husband. So it kind of makes it a weird thing because Baal's a female in this game. I guess she's best husbando, not a waifu. Baal not a waifu confirmed. But I also think that she's a horrible pub for the Bohemian Rhapsody because Beelzebub is in there and I'm still mad about it. I'm going to be mad about it forever. The amount of effort the localization team went through just to put in that many Bohemian Rhapsody jokes is just so infuriating and impressive at the same time. Here's the thing. Skytext says when you switch the character, there's no geo effect on his vision as with Venti and his animo vision. Here's the thing. You see my Shincho here? And you see my Kazuha? You see how his thing did that thing where it like blipped, right? Like it did here, I'll do it. Changyun's did it. But then watch my Shincho. Shincho didn't do it. Do you know why? He doesn't have his burst up. Zhongli will have his thing flash when his burst is up. And to prove that, we're going to get his burst up. In a minute. I got to climb up this thing. Give me particles. Thank you. All right. I just wanted particles. I don't actually want to fight these guys. Not right now. I just have to prove a really quick point. Okay. We're going to look at Zhongli's butt. Okay, see? Swap to Chi-Chi. Swap to Zhongli. There's the effect. Because his burst is up. So, that's a thing. Yeah. That's a game mechanic thing though. It's not really anything to do with lore necessarily. I mean, it could. I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole. I'm down far too many. Kaylee Howard, what are your thoughts on Kaya's vision only having 2 wing points instead of 3 like the other Mon visions? I don't want to go into vision casing discourse right now. Please don't make me. I'll say this. Kaya's vision is not unique in it being weird. Xing Cho's vision is upside down, for example. Eula's vision has an extra spike or 2 on it, I think, if I remember correctly. Amber's vision has this weird little like sweepy thingy on it that's not present on other visions. Like all of the visions are kind of unique, but in extremely subtle ways. It just so happens that Kaya's is unique in a slightly more obvious way. I don't know that it means anything because vision casings are ridiculous, and we're still not sure if they're man-made or if they manifest with the visions. So I literally cannot comment. I like literally cannot comment. I don't know. I have no idea. Do you have any thoughts on the cubes that appear in the explosion when you hit Osial with the Jade Chamber? Not really, not right now. There could be like 6 different explanations. It just depends on which theory you're currently subscribing to about how the world works. I think simulation theory actually lends itself best to that, but I haven't even begun to touch that on any of my vids, so I don't expect anyone to know what I'm talking about when I say that. But yeah, I don't know that it really means anything so much. It could mean something. I'm just not convinced that it does yet. That could change. Claus Tamaki, did you see anything about the Crimson Oni Arataki Ito who had his vision stolen by Kujosara but didn't lose his ambition? Yeah, the guy's weird. And I love him and I hope he's a Hydro Claymore and I hope I can give him the giant fish. So that he can run around Inazuma City yelling at Sarah and challenging her to sumo matches while like brandishing a gigantic fish because that would be hysterical. Like the visual alone is just like worth it, don't you think? Like who cares about the meta? I'm just gonna give him a fish. It's a good thing that fish is good. Yeah, I'm like half torn. And I'm wondering if we'll see him in 2.1. Although I don't know where he would show up. Like why, right? Like I don't know. Like they haven't even fleshed out some of the characters they've introduced already. I don't know why they would introduce somebody new, but anyway. It just seems weird to me that he hasn't lost his ambition. But to me, it also means one of 3 things. One, he either lost his vision, but is such an idiot that it doesn't actually affect him. Or 2, Sarah never actually turned in said vision, which is a possibility. Or 3, he gave her a fake vision and is just continuously challenging her to fights and not mentioning his vision because he knows it'll actually get taken, because that could also be a thing. We have no info on what it could possibly be, but I'm kind of hoping he's just that dumb, because we are severely missing himbo energy in this game, and I would love some, because he sounds hilarious. Hey, not every character has to be smart. I want some questionably dumb characters. Royolus A, any thoughts on the illness plaguing the Serpent's Head Island? We've talked a lot about that already, actually. The Tataragami. If you do the quests around the island, it'll basically tell you what's going on. But basically, it's just like if you remember the stuff with Xiao, um, and uh, Oh, hi. Why did you spawn? I don't understand. I'm like totally cryo right now. I don't want to fight cryo slimes. I don't want to get frozen either. That's just mean. Can I like not be frozen? That would be cool. I would appreciate that. Um I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just a leftover resentment from Orobashi. That's really what it is, and there's no one to cleanse it. Like they don't have the yakshas here, so it's just kind of running rampant, making people sick. I think that's what you're asking about. I'm not actually sure. If it's not, I'm sorry. Why is it not auto aiming the tree? I wanna hit the tree. I want to get some wood. Give me some wood. Um. Poppin' Googe. Is it possible that these people without visions are okay because their visions weren't put into the statue? Yeah, that's possible too. 100% possible. Easy Hawk, any clues on who Clee's mom Alice actually is? Yes and no and no and yes. That's a terrible answer, isn't it? Um, I mean, we know some things about her, but if you mean like who she is, as in, as like, as it applies to the plot, no, we don't know who she is as it applies to the plot. We know that she's important. We know that she matters. We know that she knows more than probably anyone that we've met so far. But other than that, we don't know anything. I mean, like we know some facts about her, but it's like we don't know her role. She gives me such vibes of like if you've ever seen Doctor Who, and you know the Doctor's wife, Doctor Riversong. Uh, Alice gives me such Riversong vibes. It's not even funny, especially because of her voice. Sounds just like her. It's so weird. Bunny Moon, what if a normal human got their vision stolen and the vision user is still alive? Would the person who took it be able to use it? I don't think so. Because, like, if that was the case, people wouldn't freely wear their visions on their body. They'd hide them and conceal them in some way, don't you think? Because otherwise they'd just get stolen all the time. And apparently there's a market for, like, dead people visions, but not live people visions. At least if you look at Ningguang's story. So I don't think that you can use someone's vision if they're still alive. It's kind of like trying to use a car without having the right key. And not being able to hotwire it because you don't have that skill. You know? I think that's kind of what it's like. I could be wrong. I could be totally on. Could be totally way off base. I want to go over there, but I don't want to swim over there, so I'm not going to. We're just gonna like jump over here instead. I think like what is going on with my chat right now? I don't know where I am, but I feel like I'm like way behind. I'm 20 minutes behind. Good lord. Sorry guys. Inky833, do you think we'll actually see a visionless character get awarded a vision at some point or see a future playable character receive their vision? I am hopeful that we will be able to see Colette from the manga get a vision. I think that would be super cool, and then she could be playable. That's what I'm hoping. So yes, yes, I do. I want to go this way. I can go this way. Ron, do I think the unknown god will be playable? If yes, what will her element be? No, I don't think she'll be playable. I think she's going to be final boss-ish. I don't think she'll be playable at all. That'd be a pretty weird thing to walk up to Catherine with unknown god as your avatar. Hey, Catherine, I finished my daily commissions. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do that. That'd be kind of funny, though. Upset Banana, will we ever get to see an NPC get a vision or be a playable character like Timmy and the others? I don't think so. I don't think we will. Again, that's just all speculation. I don't see why MiHoYo would do that. I don't know what they would gain from that. Why did I warp here? I don't remember. Why did I warp here? That's a good question. Wyatt, do you think the Traveler will ever side with the Fatui or Abyss? No, I think we'll reluctantly work with both at different times, but I don't think we'll ever side with any completely. I think that's kind of the point of this Traveler is that our sibling decided that they were on the side of the Abyss, the Fatui have their side, and we're going to be kind of not even on the side of Dainsleif because I think he's going to be semi-final boss-ish too, sort of. And I think we'll kind of carve our own path and our own beliefs based on that. I wanted to go up. I don't know why I came down instead. That was silly. That's just my thought, though. Tristan, I can't say your last name. Aceves, what do you think about the order that the Fatui are taking the Gnosis in and how it follows our traveler's quest to each nation? Correlation or coincidence? I think in this case it's probably more a coincidence for like story purposes. I'd like to think that there's a deeper meaning to it, just because more conspiracies. Um, but I am not convinced that there's anything other than like story motivations for it. Because, like, when you think about it, the most efficient way to do it is not to go to each Archon in turn. You would send all of the Harbingers to every nation, like, two at a time, and just take the Gnosis, right? Like, all at the same time. That would make the most sense. Like, there are 11 Harbingers, and there are 7 regions. Well, 6, technically, right? Because you don't need to do Sneznaya because the Fatui is run by the Archon there. So there's 6 regions to go to. So you could basically send 2 Harbingers to every region except for 1. Why not just do that? That's why I think it's story convenience more than anything. Shadow443. If Genshin's story starts involving the God of Time, do you think that they will bring dead characters back as companions like A's friends? I don't think they'll be resurrected, but kind of like I mentioned earlier with the whole, I think, what do you say it? Like, when I was talking about the shape-shifting traveler, one of the things about the shape-shifting traveler is that they're not limited to just, characters from right now. They could be shape-shifting into anything that they get a constellation of, right? So in theory, we could get them even without involving the God of Time. That's my opinion. And I would be shocked if a character like Vanessa is not playable in the future. I would be really shocked. I'm not even close to catching up. Kartik Narayanan. I am so sorry. Um, your name is hard to say for me. You think Skara or Senora might be playable soon, like Child? I think Scaramouche has a higher chance of being playable than Senora does. I think they're saving Senora um, for future content. I think if Scaramouche isn't playable for Inazuma, I don't know when he would be playable. So I will be not only upset but very surprised if he's not playable for Inazuma in like the next two patches. Like if he's not available by 2.3 or 2.4, I'll be shocked. I'll legitimately be shocked. And I will then be convinced that he won't be playable at all. So that's where I stand on that. That's that one. Mm. Do you think we'll have a chat with Ball at the end of Act 3 the same way we do with Venti and Zhongli? And if we do you think she will share anything about Conria or Celestia? Yes and yes. We've actually already kind of seen it. We saw it in the 2.1 trailer. There's that screenshot of Ball just kind of standing there with her arms crossed within her domain, just talking to us, asking us, "Did you really go through all of this just to have an audience with me?" And we're like, "Yeah." That to me is like our conversation with her, or our start to our conversation with her, you know? So I think she'll be able to tell us some things, but I don't think she'll be able to tell us anything about our sibling as per usual. It's not unusual. Um, yeah. Sorry is not the most exciting answer. It's just what I think. Just what I think. Do do do. I wanna whack a rock, but I can't cause I'm standing on it. This is the one thing I hate about the amethyst lumps, is that they're so short that I keep standing on them when I'm hitting them, and it's annoying. I find it incredibly annoying. It's like, I did not ask for this. Uh, Kobe, do you think Chio is still alive and could be a playable character? Of all of Ball's friends, Chio has the biggest chance of being alive and being playable. Um, I don't know if she will be. I feel like they actually wanted to kill her and keep her dead. So I don't know that she'll be playable, and if not, if she is, I don't think it'll be for a long time. But I could be totally off base on that. I just can't imagine why they do that. You know? Maybe they can. I don't know. I don't know. Our trolls. Do you think Kokomi is a human? I just think that her eyes look a little strange compared to other characters. I think her eyes look fine compared to other characters. I mean, if we're talking about like weird eyes, Kaching has super weird eyes and she's not important at all. So I don't know how much that necessarily matters in her being human. She can, I think she can, based on her little bio blurb in the trailer. I think she can be possessed by Orobashi, which might make her kind of more adepti-ish. But I think she's probably at least partially human, but maybe not. Who knows? I don't know if she's gonna really be all that interesting, unfortunately. I was really hyped for her, but I'm not sure what they're gonna do with her character in such a short period of time to make her more appealing. That's a mean thing to say, but I'm concerned about it. Robin Anderson, where do you think Varka and the other elite knights went on expedition, and when do you think they will return? I really think they went to the abyss, or at least they went to check known entrances to the Abyss. That's where I think they are. And I think they'll return probably midway through Sumeru's arc, if I had to guess. It just seems like a good point for him to show back up. Parm Axolotl, what do you think Hilichurls and Abyss dudes look like under their masks? Well, they don't have faces. I actually think the masks on the Abyss Heralds and stuff are actually, like, not their faces, but, like, part of their skull at that point. I think Abyss mages can still remove them, but, yeah. I don't think there's anything under there. I think it's just a brain. I think you just lift it up and it's like, hello, these are my eyeballs. Um, yeah. I don't know how to say your name well, so I apologize. Gilahir? You know what? I'm not gonna try and say it. I'll just insult you. I'm sorry. I can say Lopez though. I'm not that inept. We had a few big hints about big treasure hoarder bosses. What are your thoughts about treasure hoarder lore? Do you think we will get some important, maybe played treasure hoarder characters? I hope so, and I hope they come in Fontaine. Because remember, like in the We Will Be Reunited quest, like they had hired this master thief from Fontaine because that's where one of the headquarters is. I really hope we get some treasure hoarder lore there because like Kaya's connection to them in Mondstadt is really suspicious. Because even during the Leeway festivals, like during Lantern Rite and stuff, like we went and asked Kaya for help with the treasure hoarders, which is weird. Like, why would we go all the way back to Mondstadt just to ask Kaya a question about treasure hoarders? I feel like we should not have to do that. But that's just my opinion. Also, just occurred to me, I was still in that other team, and I kind of want to run around in this one because I feel like it. Want to run around as a tall dude. Just like being tall, dressed in black with gold studs because I'm from the 90s. Dang my skill or skill? I don't know. Do you think there's a reason we haven't seen any NPCs from Natland? Because I don't think MiHoYo really knows what's going on with Natland yet. I think it's too far away. Legitimately think that's the reason. Wait, who's still alive? Who's still alive? Oh. Hi. No. Bye. Yay. I'm gonna fly away now. Black Rabbit, thoughts on the other sibling using the golden sword? The weapons and wings the sibling had were summoned using their power, which suggests they had restored their power in the abyss. Well, our sibling already told us that they've already been around the world once, so they've probably already resonated with all the statues once. And then probably went a step further and did something in the abyss. That would be my guess. But there's a couple of weird things going on because like if our sibling didn't travel around the world again post being digitized, for lack of a better term, by the unknown god, right? Why would our sibling not get their powers removed, but then we get our powers removed? Like, that's a weird thing for me. It feels weird that it would happen to one of us and not the other. But if that is the case, like, maybe the unknown god isn't the reason why we lost our powers. Right? So it's possible that Lumine never, or Lumine for me, because I have ether, But the Abyss Twin didn't lose their powers to begin with, right? Like that is a possibility. I don't know what's more likely, to be honest. Whoops. Old controller gives me butterfingers. Hee 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 hee. Am I catching up yet? Oh my god, I'm still 20 minutes behind. I feel like I should like skip a lot of these older questions just because like I am so behind and this must feel really weird for me to like be way back here. Holy cow. Yeah, I would okay. I'm sorry if I don't get to your questions and if I don't say hi to you in chat, but it's hard for me to keep up. There's a lot of stuff in here. What do I do? Alright, I'm just gonna jump to current time so that I know what's going on. I feel like I'm so far behind now. Lancelot, are the twins immortal? And if so, are they like Albedo and do they hail from Conria as well? Is that why Lumine is fighting for the Abyss? Okay, so we know that the twins are not from Conria. It's just that that's where we landed when we came to this planet, right? Lumine, or the Abyss Twin, is what I should say, basically was awake for a long time in Conria and traveled the world without us before they decided to wake us up. And I'm still not sure why they were just like, hey, I'm at this unknown world. I'm awake by myself. My only family is asleep. I think I'm going to go travel the world and see what's up, and then I'll come back for my sibling. That's like the weirdest thing to me. That is super weird. But we're not from Conria. We are not from Conria. That much I can say. Oh my god. Give. This galaxy is like the weirdest thing in the sky. It is so weird. I hate this galaxy. It's so strange. Okay, I'm not looking at it anymore. Nope, 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 nope. Ether, what if the unknown goddess wanted us to fix something? That is actually a legitimate thing. That is possible. It's possible that the unknown god is more related to us than we think she is. Like, there's a few questions that we have to ask ourselves, right? Like, because in the intro opening screen, when you first log into the game, right? It's kind of weird that we have to go through a door to get to Teyvat. Yet, when... hang on. Okay. What I was saying was, it's kind of weird that we have to go through this door to get to Teyvat, but that same door is the door that we were trying to go through to get out of Teyvat. Right? Like, that's really weird to me. And also, if we were running from the Cataclysm, which we should have been, according to all of the known lore, then that means our current position should have been not in Teyvat, but in Conria. We should have been in Conria. So those doors are closer to Conria than they are to Teyvat, which is a weird thing to think about. And then it's like, well, where is the unknown god, and then why are we in those doors? Is it possible that we were in Conria and then we actually did escape and we were running to a different world to escape, and the unknown god chased us and brought us back? to fix something that we started. Because that's a possibility. But we don't know. But those doors drive me. Every time I log into the game, I'm just like, why? Why are you here? Where are you? This makes no sense to me. What's going on? Are we in Conria? Do we start in Conria? Friggin' thing's so aggravating. I don't understand. It's possible that Teyvat is just the unknown god's teapot. That is also a possibility. And that, like, Teyvat is technically her prison, and she's like, I'm not gonna kill you, you're just gonna go to jail. And then she, like, zaps us into her prison. Seth Rodriguez, do you think we will get playable characters that don't have visions? If so, gameplay-wise, what do you think their skill and burst might look like? Love your theories. Keep up the good work. Thank you! I think we will get characters that don't have visions, but I think they'll mostly have delusions. And I think any character that we get that doesn't have a vision will have some vision-like apparatus attached to them so that it basically functions the same way. I don't know that the skill and burst will be all that different. It wouldn't really make sense for them to do that without changing something about how the game functions, which might happen next year. Maybe. Although I'm just a little bit skeptical of it, that's all. I'm just a little skeptical of it. Any thoughts on the origin of the meteor that hit the chasm? I think it's a spaceship. I think aliens came. I'm not even being sarcastic. I like legitimately think that aliens came and fell there and that it was not a meteor but a giant spaceship type of thing. Mm-hmm. Yep. Just picture that History Channel guy just going, aliens. That's what happened. They came, they saw, they conquered. And then they went, nope, bye-bye. Comey, what about Aloy? Anything interesting? In what respect? I have been here already today. I mean, I've played Horizon Zero Dawn. I know Aloy's story, but I don't really want to talk about it too much. I just think that it's better for people to... Hi. I think it's better for people to play Horizon themselves and learn Aloy's story. Because it's really good. And if you're not going to play it because it's not your style of game or you're, like, just not into that kind of thing... Whoops. That was weird. Hi. If you're not into that kind of thing, watch a gameplay movie of it if you haven't played it and all that. Like, it's a really good story. That's all I can say. Like, I can't do it much justice just to, like, tell you her story, because it's like their whole world building is so cool and I really love it. And I love the fact that they only put her up against mechanical enemies in her trailer. That's like so on point for her. I love Horizon's world building. It's so good. It's like so good. Yeah, that's my thought. I do like Aloy. I don't like her design in Genshin though. It makes her look like she's like 12. I feel like they should have given her a an adult female model, and I think they should have made her eyes a lot smaller. That's my thoughts on Aloy. Ice-T, do you think they'll kill Kazuha? No, I don't. Kazuha's not important. Not that, not bleh, bleh. He's not important enough to die. Sorry, little buddy, but it's true. He's just not. Like, he's important to the story of Inazuma in some ways, but he's also not that important to the story of Genshin as a whole, so I don't think they'll kill him. It won't have enough impact. There's no point. He might get injured or something, but I don't. He won't die. There's no way. If he dies, I will be like incredibly shocked. It just doesn't make sense from a literary perspective to do that. I feel like Lisa is going to be the first death in Genshin. The timing would fit in Sumeru for a good character. And the thing about Lisa versus Kazuha is that Kazuha is like a limited 5-star character that, you may or may not have. Whereas Lisa is someone that everyone has, no matter what. So basically, everyone has probably had Lisa on their party at some point for a time and gotten at least a little bit attached to her just because, nostalgia. Like, this is one of my very first characters. Aw, like that kind of thing. Kazuha doesn't have that. So I feel like his death isn't worth as much from a literary perspective. So I don't think they'll do that. I recognize that reasoning is really weird. But it is what I think. It is what I think. Jimmy Yu, do you think older Archons like Venti and Morax know about Lumine's journey? Probably. But I don't know that they know Lumine very well. Hafsa, do you think we'll meet Dane again, or will he just avoid us until the last chapter and fight us? I think we'll meet Dane many more times. Like, many more times. I will not be surprised if he shows up in, like, 2.2 or something. Not the next one. I don't think he'll show up in the next one, because it's like, that would be too much. But I think he'll show up in, like, 2.2 or 2.3. That'll be about right for a Dane's Leaf. I fell. Oops. That'll be about timing for him, I think. Yeah. What do I think the region of Sumeru will look like? I think it'll look like a desert. I think it'll look like ancient Mesopotamia with the hanging gardens of Babylon. Yep, that's what I think. Why are there so many of you? Go away. Don't appreciate being ambushed. Eee. Gerardo Moreno. I think I said that right. What do you think of the Mora symbol on the forehead of the enemies and leyline tree rings showing up in like a frame of the latest Honkai video? Are you talking about the Legion one? Like, because that one also has the Fatui symbol on the floor of the theater. I think Legion is actually like a good prototype for Sandrone because it's a giant puppet that's also a puppeteer, which would totally fit Sandrone as a harbinger. So, yeah, go take a look at that frame again because like it's kind of nutty. Smell my hobo says, who do you think will die endgame? Everyone. No, I'm not kidding. I legit think the entire world of Tevat's just gonna go kabooey. I think it's just gonna die and be completely reborn as something else. 100%. That's how I think the game ends. This isn't a pleasant thought. Fumo, who do you think is gonna die in 2.1? Given that she's going into a foul legacy like form, Senora has the highest chance of dying. but I think Scaramouche also has a pretty good chance of dying. And if he dies, I think he's dead for good and won't come back. And I think he will then not be playable. But I feel like if they kill Senora, she will come back and she will be playable. Um, but it's just as likely that no one dies in 2.1. But like someone has like a super close call with death. However, can I not have that happen to me, please? No, no, no. Thank you. Jeez. I forgot these guys were here. I was not safe. Okay. I would like to propose an idea, though, of why Senora should be the one to die. Because hear me out. Aside from like the whole Syndrome resurrection necromancer kind of thing, which I also think would be super cool and I'd love to see, I had this thought that like if Senora, I just want the sparkle. I don't want this thing. I thought that if Senora was the one to die, it would be a really great segue into Sumeru, and here's why. Dottore was someone who studied at the academy in Sumeru, right? So it would kind of make sense that he's the harbinger that we would encounter there. But Dottore, according to the comics, has like a ton of investment into like human hybrid research and like robotifying people, like making them into cyborgs and stuff. And I think it would be extremely cool if Senora had like such a close call with death that people thought she was dead, or at least she was like, for all intents and purposes, dead. But then her body was taken to the academy in Sumeru, where Dottore was then able to perform experiments on her and resurrect her and make her into something really, really, really sketchy. I think that would be awesome as like a way to introduce him as a harbinger and just as like another subplot for Sumeru. Do 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 do. Yeah, that's what I think. There's also a chance that Ball could die, but I feel like that's like such a small chance just because she's gonna be playable, and I'm not quite sure how likely Mihoyo is to kill off a playable character yet, because I still feel it's really early. But I could be wrong. Mihoyo likes pain. So that could be a thing. Favorite character design wise? Design wise? That's hard. That is a tie between Kaya, Xiao, Zhongli, and Beidou. But honestly, I think if I had to pick one, I think Kaya is probably my favorite design wise. I really like his aesthetic. Where did the dude go? Wasn't he like just here? He just like poofed. I didn't even have to fight him. He just poofed on his own. He's like, I ain't fighting this dude. I'm getting out of here. I have self-preservation senses. I'm gonna pick all the plants. Again, I'm like 15-minute behind again. Oh my god. I'm gonna wrap it up here pretty soon, you guys. We've been going for a few hours. So I'm probably gonna answer like 6 or 7 more questions and then call it a night. Gabriel asks, do you think Venti let his Gnosis be taken on purpose? As an Archon, he should be way stronger than Senora. Yes, I do think he was the one who sort of let it be taken on purpose. I think it's one of those things where you can create some level of plausible deniability. Meaning, like, if Venti has his Gnosis stolen, he can't really be responsible for, the uprising against Celestia. So, like, even if he disagrees with Celestia, he doesn't have any interest in trying to, how to say, like, take them on himself, or he doesn't think it can be done. But if he puts on a show and said, hey, they took my gnosis by force, I didn't give it to them, you can't blame me for this, then in theory, Celestia can't really hold him accountable for that, right? So I think that's kind of like his way of getting out of that. Zhang Li basically. Oh, there's more of you than I thought there were. That's way more than a few than I thought there were. Okay, hang on. Okay, so like Zhang Li friggin' faked his own death, right? And that was kind of his way of being like, you know, I can't be held responsible for this because, you know, I'm dead. I don't exist anymore. You can't prove anything. No, get me out of here. Thank you. Hi. Yeah. So yeah, I think he let his gnosis get taken. Venti doesn't have a very high opinion of Celestia to begin with, so it's not like it's a you know, like a completely unreasonable assumption, I think. Mini Cosmic, just to clarify, how is Kaching not important at all, even though she has a rank among the Liwei Qixing? I mean important to the plot. When I say important, right? Like, Kazuha, for example, is important to the plot of Inazuma, and that's it. Kaching is important to the plot of Liwei, and that's it. Like, they don't have any role that's greater than just their little bit of the story that they have while we're in their country, right? But some of the Mondstadt characters, like Kaya, and I'm gonna guess Lisa, and probably Amber, because Amber, for reasons, has some connections to Sumeru, because of Kalei and possibly her grandfather. They have connections to the plot outside of the region of Mondstadt. So they have more importance than, say, Kaching, right? So that's what I mean when I say that. I'm not saying like she's not important as a character, but she's just not important overall to the greater plot of Genshin. Like, you could probably replace her with just about anybody else and the plot doesn't necessarily change. That's a harsh truth. And it's kind of hard to hear, especially about characters that you really like. But like, Xiao doesn't have any real story relevance outside of Liwei either. And he's my favorite. I've made peace with that. But again, that's just the way I perceive the story and kind of like how I've decided to understand it and how I've decided to characterize story, like characters. Like Yoimiya is gonna have no relevance on the story at all going forward. Ayaka is not going to have any relevance at all after Inazuma, right? So that's what I mean when I say that. Kaylee Howard, what are your thoughts on the Twin Traveler boss fight? That could be really cool. I'm more convinced that our twin is going to die or fuse with us because maybe we weren't actually twins to begin with. Hey, what's this? Oh, wait, no, I don't want to do this one. I don't want to. You can't make me. I have the controller, not you. Upset Banana, is it possible that Varka is Timmy's dad? Not really. I don't think so. Jimmy Yu, when do I think Dottore is coming? I think I kind of mentioned this. I think he's coming in Sumeru. He makes the most sense to show up in Sumeru. I'll be surprised if he's not the Harbinger that we get from there. Like, we have to start going through Harbingers faster. There are 11 Harbingers, and there's only friggin', like, 4 regions to go, right? Like we've seen 3. There's 4 regions to go, and we have only seen 3 Harbingers plus Dottore, who was only in the comic. 4 out of 11. Like, we need to speed this up. You know what I mean? Like, this can't be the speed that we progress at. So he has to show up in Sumeru, and I think we'll get at least one more. I'm actually wondering if we'll get one more Inazuma Harbinger. Because technically in Mondstadt we only had Senora. And so in Inazuma we have Senora and Scaramouche. In Liyue we only really had, well, we had Senora and we had Child, so it would make sense if we had like one more Harbinger here. I don't know how that would even tie into the plot right now. That would be really odd. But they need to really speed it up. Like a lot. Unless they're planning on like killing Harbingers and not telling us. Or just introducing like 5 of them in Snezhnaya, which I guess could be a thing. That could totally be a thing. But I wouldn't be very happy about it. Parmaxolotl, I will not elaborate on my alien theory. There is lots of mentions of literal extraterrestrials within the books and stuff in Genshin, and it's kind of sus. Zerosian, what if it's the 2 spaceships the twin came from? I think you're talking about the Chasm Meteor. I don't think so. The timeline doesn't add up. Whoop, okay. I'm running away now, bye. Oh, crap. Hi. Yep. We're running from the law. I don't wanna, though. You can't make me. Why am I running as Kazuha? Kaya is faster. And sneakier. Because he's a sneaky peaky. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Little sneaky, sneaky. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Joker, I swear to God. Do you think Sarah is ultimately loyal to Ball or truly working for her own interests? You know my answer to this. I told you this yesterday. I'm not answering that. Who's my favorite non-playable character? Blum, 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 blum. I'm gonna guess you mean non-playable character that's not playable ever, as opposed to not playable currently. Probably Herbalist Gu. Or Gui. Is it Gui or Gu or Gui? It might be Gui. I'm sorry, my Chinese is awful. The dude that runs Baizu's shop. I like him. He's fun. There's nothing special about him. I just like him. Have I played Devil May Cry? No. I have watched Let's Plays of it, though. It's not my thing. QB, do you think the actual in-game wishing mechanic is similar or related to the experiment that the Fatui conducted in the Scaramouche Mona event? Yes. But that's also part of my huge conspiracy theory thing that I wanted to share, but I don't want to share just yet. Oh, there's a lot of you. Hi. Oh, dear. That's always fun. Oh, they're all dead. Okay, well, I guess that's fun. Sorry, Kazuha. That was kind of funny, though. I'm glad he didn't go up that high. That could have ended very badly. Yep. Anyway. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry if I'm skipping any questions. I'm trying to like catch up to the current time because I'm like 30 minutes behind. I'm gonna wrap it up here at about 4 minutes. But that doesn't mean that you should send me like a million like last minute questions because I'm already super, super behind and I'm so sorry. Chat moves too fast for me. I need to find like a really good system for this. Because there's a lot of questions and I feel really bad when I miss questions, but like if I answered all of them at the rate they come in, like I would be here all night. Um I might make it so that people have to ask me questions on Twitter so that I can actually put a limit on how many I'm doing. Because otherwise, no one's questions get answered and then nobody's happy. And that would be bad. Okay. EV Master 547 says, really big world building question. The perpetual mechanical array. To me, it's always seemed like an artificial hypostasis. Your thoughts? Yes. Actually, here. Is it in here? First off, someone asked about my extraterrestrial theory. Here you go. A strange alien machine. I know they mean foreign and not alien, but like, I'm still gonna fire off the conspiracy theory. Anyway, yep. It says it right here. This machine comprised of cubic shapes is on the some level very much like the elemental hypostases. So they're even acknowledging it here. It's not even like a theory at this point because it's like that's just the thing. Yep, it's just the thing. Anyway, Seth Rodriguez, how often do you stream? I stream when I feel like it. That is a terrible answer, but it is the truth. I stream when I feel like it, which actually isn't very often. I usually stream on weekends, once in a while. I try to do it once or twice a month, but it's usually just me running around and then answering questions because I get a lot of them. Um, yeah. Yep, it's mostly just this. It's mostly just this. I haven't really done any Abyss runs or anything on here, mostly because like I'm not a really fantastic gamer, and so kind of like doing Abyss runs while streaming makes me really uncomfortable. So I'm just like, don't judge my rotations. I know I can do this 20 seconds faster. I'm just not going to, like that kind of thing. So it's mostly just usually me wandering around. Yep. UK Karam, Kaya will have a more important role than Diluc even in the future, right? I think so, yes. But I think that Diluc will become really important as part of getting Kaya to choose a side. So I think Diluc will still be pretty important. I think Kaya will be more important. But a lot of that might be wishful thinking just because of who I think he's supposed to be in Genshin, and obviously because he's like one of the only 3 people that's directly linked to Conria that we know of. And he's a starter, so everyone has him, and there's a reason everyone has him. But that could also just be my wishful thinking. I don't know. Do I have an idea on where Klee's mother is? No. I don't think Klee knows where Klee's mother is. I don't think Alice knows where Alice is. Alice just kind of runs and does whatever she wants whenever she wants. Like she's she just kind of I feel like she'll just show up at some point and we'll be like, wait, what? And she'll be like, hi, yeah, I'm gonna join you now. I'm done with my thing. And we're like, what? No, you have to give us answers. And she's like, no, I'm just gonna join you now. Hi. I really think that's how that's gonna go. I feel like I've gone in circles like 5 times. This is the problem with Inazuma is all the islands are round and I keep running around them, like literally running around them. I haven't been to Rito in a while. Let's go to Rito. Kaylee Howard, be honest, have you ever killed Timmy's pigeons? Yeah, a couple of times, but like, I don't use archers, and I don't make an effort to kill his pigeons, so I don't kill them that often. Like, very, very, very rarely. I think it's a pain in the butt, so I don't bother. I just want to do parkour around the city, that's all. Don't judge me. I don't judge your hobbies. You judge me my parkour. Going around in circles. Look at the tree! Yep. Soup, do you think we'll be able to unresonate with a statue? No, but I think there's a possibility that our powers will get taken away from us again. Prez Madagascar! What's up with the orb thing from the Chi quest? That is a really long answer. Chi is like a whole thing that I'll probably do a video on eventually, so I'm just gonna hold it for that. Essentially, it's a part of Chi that got sealed away. But the other answer is that no one really knows what the orb thing is exactly or why it's like that. And it may have significance later on because it's way too huge and fanciful for that to be it. But it's also possible that that's just the equivalent of the Sakura tree for Leeway. You know, like a nice little mini boss hidden world quest thing that's pretty long and meandering. And you get like a really cool landmark for it. It's possible that's all they'll ever have it be, but I hope it's something else. I hope they bring us back there eventually. I get the feeling they might. But even if they don't, they've set themselves up in a way where they could, which I think is kind of cool. So I'm just wondering. Oh, hey, Ikuraga, thanks so much for your super chat. Thanks for your time. Enjoy 2.1. You too. I am sorry I didn't get to actually, like, say hi. Or say bye. Or, like, acknowledge this before you left. If you come back and watch the ending of this stream, bye. Thank you. I'm sorry for being a terrible host. Yeah, okay. There are 3 questions that I see here. These are the last 3 questions I'm going to answer, and then I'm going to sign off for the night. Anyway. Ether asks, why if someone loses their vision, they forget? Why are visions even that important? I actually answered this earlier in the stream, so I'm gonna kind of skip this one too, because I don't want to answer a question redundantly. Wish there was a way for me to timestamp like on the go. That'd be kind of cool. I wonder if that's a feature I can request. I don't think anyone would listen to me though. I don't care if I'm a slacker. I'm gonna stand on this tree, just like this. This is my life now. I'm just gonna stand and stare at this tree. Yep. Kazua's been put in timeout. Do I think Albedo will have some bigger role in the story in the future? Yes. Yes, because Albedo's like intrinsically connected to Dragonspine, and Dragonspine I think is way more important than anyone else has considered it to be. I think it's gonna be a place that we go back to over and over again, and I think it's gonna be one of the places that we go to towards the end of the game. Because we still have that whole thing with Durin's heart that's in the middle of the mountain that we still haven't done anything with. And if you're telling me that that heart's just there and we're never going to touch it, I'm going to call you crazy. Because there's no way. There's no way. Something's going to happen there. Apologetic. Do you think we will have to kill Albedo at some point, or will he lose control? I think he will lose control. I think we're going to see something like really cool, like fusion-wise. with albedo dragon type of thing. I don't think he'll die though. I don't. I have no basis for that. I just don't think he'll die. Um, Joker, are you seriously playing Magic the Gathering while you put this on in the background? I swear to God. I don't know how anyone can play like trading cards while listening to a stream in the background. Anyway. Okay, for the record, Joker is a friend of mine who is on the stream and who keeps asking questions that he already knows the answer to because he pings them onto me at Discord all the time and I answer them there. And he's doing it just to be a little shit, which is fine because we're friends. But also, I'm going to call him out on it because I can. Yeah. So that's who I'm talking about if I talk about Joker. He's in the chat right now. So that's that. He's a real joker. But not me. I don't tell good jokes. I've never been to the top of this building. I might try to go there one day. But I'm gonna call it there, folks, because this stream's been pretty long, and I'm actually out of things to farm. My inventory is very full now, unless I want to like go around farming for wood, which is something I could do, but I don't really want to. Is there really a chest up there? Watch me have been up there already and I've just like totally forgotten. That is a legitimate thing that could happen. Hey, look! I am floating. I am floating. I am floating. I am floating. This is more fun than it should be. I'm sorry. I'm having fun. Okay, I'm done. I'll be serious now. As serious as I can be. I think I need a Geo character for stuff. Maybe not. Oops, I screwed that up. Come on. There we go. I don't know how I get up there from here, though, without a Geo unit. I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I don't have Geo Traveler right now, so Zhongli's like my only bet here. Wait, where'd he go? What? I'm serious. There. That's better. Oh. I have to crawl around my own pillar. There's no chest. Either that or I've already gotten it. Both could be possible. But I made it. Hooray! I will survey all of this world. Hello, world. Hello, world. Hello, mountain that's always glowing funky colors. Hello, world. Okay, I'm done. All right. I think you guys are thinking of Ball's house. I'm in Rito right now. I think you're thinking of that building over there, like way over there. This is like this is not the same place. Like there's chests in an Electroculus over there, but not this one. This is like the little tiny house. I've still never been up here though, until now. I don't think. Maybe. Who knows? Actually, there's a mouse on my counter. I need to go get a knife. Zhongli, we're not in Liyue. I know, but we're in Inazuma. Okay, that's nice. All right. All right, guys. I am gonna head out. Thank you all so much for showing up. Like one person comments on the mouse. I have a war against the mice in my house. I think I'm winning currently, but they were winning last week, so it can go either way. It's a toss up. We'll see. Take care, guys. Thank you guys so much again for showing up. I'm sorry if I missed you. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question. Feel free to shoot me your questions on Twitter if you still have them. And I'll get to them tomorrow. In the meantime, stay cool. I'll see you guys in the next theory video or the next stream. Probably the next theory video because I have a short one planned coming up soon. Also, in like 3 days, we have 2.1 pre-installation coming. So we're gonna be so well fed. I'm excited. Okay, I'm going now. Okay, bye.